Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the new Tier 7 German battleship, Prinz Heinrich. I, I've been enjoying this ship. If you've been following this line at all, well, you've probably heard others say that maybe this is how German battleships should have been all along. I made that comment in the chat there because this is an all Tier 7 match, and these poor cruiser players. We've got a New Orleans player and a Weimar player on our side, and Indianapolis and Lazo on the other side. And, they're facing off against 5 battleships. That's very tough, and a lot of torpedoes. Hood is a beautiful ship. Anyway, Prinz Heinrich. The guns are 380s, not too dissimilar from the guns on the Gneisenau. They are a little bit different. The reload is a little bit slower by, I think, 4 seconds. Got a 30-second reload. Turret traverse is fairly standard, 30 seconds for 180-degree turn time. Gneisenau turns a little bit slower, it takes 36 seconds. But, both have their strengths. But I like Gneisenau, but I think Prinz Heinrich is more fun to play, primarily because the guns are more accurate. Gneisenau guns hit pretty hard, but you've only got 6 of them, and the Sigma and dispersion is just not that good. Prinz Heinrich, you've got, well, you can see there, you got 4 turrets, 8 total guns, and the dispersion is better. And the Sigma, I think, is better, although I looked it up and I couldn't find it. But just looking at the way the shells seem to spread out and land, it seems better. The Sigma, or the dispersion, max dispersion on the Prinz Heinrich is 180 meters. And on the Gneisenau, the max dispersion is 255, so that gives you some idea. Now, the ship is fairly new to me. I didn't aim very well here, but still, I found it more fun than Gneisenau. And again, I like Gneisenau. I've had fun playing Gneisenau. It's not what I would call, a really great ship, but it has its strengths, and sometimes it can be a lot of fun. In fact, I think playing Gneisenau might have been the first time I was ever accused of hacking. Gneisenau is not really very accurate, and there was this right after they rolled out storms, to limit visibility and stuff, and I caught somebody coming around an island with a storm. So I think range was down to 8 kilometers anyway, and then I was behind an island, and I caught them at like 4 kilometers. And they were sure that I was hacking, and then there was another guy in the same game. Game was almost over, and I was trying to use the indicator on the mini-map. I was just kind of firing blind from across the map, max range, and caught somebody and finished them off. So you can see I'm struggling with the aiming. Just, fairly new ship to me, but things kind of turn around here before it's over. I start kind of getting the hang of how to aim these things. Back to this game. There are a lot of torpedo threats. The enemy team's got a Mahan, a Sims, a Haida, and a Bliskowitz. Now the Bliskowitz is already gone. But, I know there's a Haida this side. Now it doesn't have a lot of torpedoes, but it's pretty stealthy. It's got a kind of a rolling smoke, and I don't want to get burned down, which happens a lot with pretty much any German battleship. Now you'll notice, well, maybe you can't see it very well, but the mini-map will show you kind of a line of dashes, red dashes, around my ship at 9.5 kilometers. That's the secondary range, and this is a tier 7 ships. Now granted, I did add a secondary range signal. I think it adds 5%. Now this poor Gneisenau, he pushes in here. Now why are the Hood, Leon, and myself kind of falling back on this side? Well, it's because we have 2 Mahan that went center, and they're really not doing anything. They're not spotting. They're not a threat to the battleships that are pushing, in this case, Gneisenau. And we've got a destroyer that's on the 1 line. Now, I'm not maligning the Shiratsuyu player, but he's certainly not helping the battleships. He's kind of engaged with Haida on that side. And he has to be careful. I mean, Haida has decent detection. I think Shiratsuyu, if it's set up properly, has a little bit better detection radius. But Haida has decent detection, and if the Shiratsuyu gets caught out with the Leon and the Lazo on that side, he can get blapped. So I can kind of understand why he's playing cautiously on that side. Now this Gneisenau, he really is. He's just going for it. So he's got 3 battleships that are putting shells on him. Plus he's got New Orleans kind of dead ahead there. And another strength of this, well, they're really kind of battle cruisers, but they're battleships technically in the game, are these torpedoes. 10-kilometer range, and I'm able to land 2 of them for almost 20,000 damage. I was hoping to get this shot off and finish that Gneisenau, but got behind the island. So I'm going to go ahead and start trying to turn around. At least a little. And the New Orleans does finish off the Gneisenau. And we lost a Scharnhorst on the other side. We lost the Weimar on the other side. And really, we've got a Mahan that's kind of sitting on the edge over here. That's King Barbarossa. And we've got a Nagato and a Mas on the other side. And they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ships over there. So plainly, things are not looking good on the other flank. One of the Mahan has gone all the way through and is working to secure their cap. Now, is he going to? Probably not. I mean, anytime you see this, while it's possible that it may get capped out, almost always there's going to be at least, well, there'll be some reaction from the other team, and they'll almost always run somebody back that way. I was kind of surprised to see their Leon turn away, but, you know, you just never know. I got my hopes up for just a minute that maybe the Mahan going center would pay big dividends, but it just rarely happens. And it doesn't happen in this game. So, you know, we're a little over 8 minutes in, 55,000 damage. It's certainly nothing spectacular. But here's another Gneisenau. But he's pushing into, well, he's pushing in basically into the kind of the strength of our team right now. Hood, Nagato, myself, and the Prinz Heinrich. New Orleans, and then he's got a Mahan and a Mas, and there's no way he's going to survive this. You can see the torpedoes are on track. My secondaries just kicked in. And down he goes. Now this game had kind of a slow start, at least for me. But I think it ended up being a pretty good game. I don't think the Mahan torpedoes have the range to get to me, so I'm not too concerned about it. The ship's only got a maximum of range on the torpedo of 9.2 kilometers, so I expect they're going to stop here right in front of me. And they did. And you can see I just took some big damage there. I ate some battleship shells. Secondaries are working on the Mahan. And I managed to get a close quarters expert with just secondary kill. It's pretty fun. So the Mahan that was up in their cap, he basically ran back down through the gap, but he was able to draw a lot of their team back, and that allowed our Shiratsuyu to push up and to flank that side. He's now on the 2 line, you can see him, and followed by Scharnhorst and Leon. Their Sims obviously went back to the cap to help. You can see the last known position marker there, kind of at the bottom of their cap circle, and that's going to allow us to push on this side. I want to go ahead and just push right at them. I don't want to run north just yet because Nagato's guns can really hurt. If I do that, I'm showing broadside. Pretty decent armor scheme on this ship, at least in my opinion, but I still don't want to eat more damage than I have to. So I'm going to see what I can do to help finish off the Nagato. You can see that dispersion in Sigma looks pretty good. And the guns will be reloaded right around the time that I'm coming around the island here. And this Nagato just showing no respect, full broadside. Doesn't look like Hood can get guns on him, but I certainly can, and my secondaries are going to open up here as well. Almost 18,000 damage, no Citadel, but I'll take that. Now this Mahan, he's smoked, but he's not spotting, so had a moment of blindness there. I went ahead and repaired because, well, 2 reasons. One, I'm going to spend a little bit of time in the smoke here. And I was thinking about whether I was going to fire or not because the Duke of York is right there. Now my secondaries are working on the Nagato. So I'm going to put this shot on the Duke of York, try and help finish him off. Not great, but I'll take it. And I changed my mind and say, you know, Duke of York, he's well angled at this point. I need to help finish off Nagato, and then I can run north. And then I won't have to worry about Nagato on my broadsides. I think Duke of York is engaged with Moss in New Orleans. And that's going to do it for Nagato. Alright, so that's kill number 2. And at this point, we're looking great. We've basically got the enemy team encircled, but you may have noticed their DD has run through the center and is in our cap circle. So he's doing what one of our Mahan did to them. He's going to draw all of us on this side back to the cap. So Sims is in the cap, Hyde is at the cap, our Hood is in big trouble. Now, has this been a stellar game for me? No, it really hasn't. I mean, I've landed 48 main gun shells, but certainly haven't been lighting it up or anything, and my aim's been off more than once. 100 secondary hits. But, you know, 14 minutes into the game, sitting at just shy of 120,000 damage. I didn't lead enough. I thought the Duke of York was slowing down and going to sit behind the island there. And I think he was slowing down, but I think he got detected anyway and just decided he was going to speed up and head for the red cap to try and help out. I'm going to try and finish him off. I'm angling southward a little bit, trying to get these shells over the top of this island. See, I lose the forward guns to the island, but crossing my fingers, hoping I can finish off that Duke of York. And I do, and that was kind of important because, you know, you could see he and the Duke of York, the Nagato, and the Leon were all kind of bunched up together. We lose our hood to Sims torpedoes. But the Duke of York has hydro, and by taking him out, it really helped our Shiratsuyu. Because now his torpedoes can kind of remain unseen. So I'm going to get the secondaries active and make Haida the focus of the secondaries, and I'm going to work main guns on the Indy. Now the Indianapolis has guns that can hurt me for sure, but it's really difficult to citadel this ship. Not impossible, but difficult. I'm not too worried about that. Goes down to torpedoes from the Moss. You can see a lot of red torpedoes here. Secondaries finish off the Haida. That's kill number 4, and I'm really hoping to pick up the Kraken here, but we don't always get what we want. And Mahan torpedoes the Indy. And at this point, the game's pretty much over. I'm not going to get a chance to get a shot on Nagato. You can see where he's at. He's the only red ship left. So overall, I find this ship a lot of fun to play. I'm looking forward to the chance to play the Tier 8. I've been playing this a little bit, trying to get some XP on it so that when they open up the tech tree, I can just go ahead and buy the Tier 8. I think I've already got the premium camo that we could get through the early release missions for the Tier 8. And if it's as fun as this, I'm certainly going to enjoy it. If you haven't tried these ships, but you like playing ships with fairly strong secondaries, I think you'd enjoy this and get a kick out of this line. I recommend it. It's fun. It's certainly not overpowered, at least not in my opinion, but I think they're very fun to play, kind of like Palmer in a way if you've played that. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.